Everyone. So we're in the Khan Academy Algebra 1 class. I'm going down to Unit 8, which is functions. Today, I'm going to look at quiz number 2. That's what my students are working on right now. So let's take a look at quiz number 2. All the quizzes take into account the question sets that came before them. So quiz 1 has these question sets up here, but then quiz 2 is only the ones after quiz 1. So like this one here, and this one here, they all combine to make quiz 2. All right, so let's check it out. Ooh, this looks fun. All right, so it looks like they've sort of graphed this function, and the function sort of has like a start point and an end point, which doesn't always happen, but it looks like it kind of starts here, right? It goes down, it goes up, it goes down again, squiggles, goes back up, and then it ends here. So it asks for the range of the function. Well, the range of the function is the set of all the y values that's contained. So if we, how high up do we go? How low down do we go? That's kind of like the range. It's that difference between the highest point and the lowest point. So it looks like the highest point is right here, where y is 5, and the lowest point is not here, but actually down here, where y is -5. So it looks like the range is sort of from +5 to -5, and it doesn't go outside of those bounds. So I think we'll do A. The function goes between +5 and -5. I like that one. All right. Let's clear these drawings. All right, so this one says, Princess Tower in Dubai. I used to live there. It's considered the world's tallest residential building, towering 101 floors. That's cool. T of N models the number of tenants living on floor N. So it's the amount of tenants living on floor N. So this would represent the amount of tenants living on floor 60. And what it's saying is that that number is greater than the amount of tenants living on floor 10 plus the amount of tenants living on floor 30. So if you look at floor 10, count up all the people, count up all the people on floor 30, add them together. That is not even as much as the amount of tenants on floor 60. So floor 60 is a popular floor. Let's read the answer choices and see which one reflects that. So it says the height of floor 60 is greater than the sum of the heights of floors 10 and 30. This is not talking about the heights, it's talking about the tenants. So maybe that's true, but it's not really what this is talking about. The number of floors with 60 tenants is greater than the number of floors with 10 or 30. It's not the number of floors with 60, it's just the amount of people on the 60th floor. That's what T of 60 represents. So hopefully C gives us that. It says there are more tenants on floor 60 than there are tenants on floors 10 and 30 combined. I think that's exactly what we said. The T of 60 here represents how many tenants are on the 60th floor. That is greater than the 10th floor tenants plus the 30th floor tenants. All right. All right, so this one says for a given input value R, the function G outputs a value Q. That's a lot of letters to satisfy the following equation. That's ridiculous. 10Q minus 3R equals 14. So what I want to do is I want to write a formula for G of R in terms of R. So I want to write a function where it's all written in terms of R. So I only want R on this side, because then I can plug in different numbers for R and it'll tell me what the output is. And I think the output is Q. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to solve for Q in this equation. So let's do that real quick. Let's solve for Q. So I'd have 10Q. If I add 3R to both sides, the right side will be 3R plus 14. If I want to solve for Q, I would divide both sides by 10. So maybe I'll do this. On the left side, I would be left with Q alone, not to be confused with QAnon. I would be left with Q alone. And then on the right side, I'd have 3R plus 14 over 10. And I actually would maybe keep it like this. What I've done is I solved for Q, and I guess it really could have just said solve for Q, but that's, it's not exactly getting you thinking. It's trying to get you think about functions and how they work. The idea with a function here, this is a function in terms of R. The function is in terms of R. If I know R, I can plug it in and I can figure out what Q is. So Q is thought of as a function of R, G of R. You could have also written F of R. typically you'll see F, but it also could have been G. So this is the output of the function, which is Q. The output is Q. The input is going to be 3R plus 14 over 10. And I could have done this with G of R, or I could have written it with F of R. It makes literally no difference. The only difference is here in the question, they use the letter G. So you might be confused if you're only used to using F. So let's do this. Let's make it a fraction where the numerator is 3R plus 14 and the denominator is 10. See if it likes that. Oh yeah, really likes it. All right, that's clear. All right, so this question says, baby Kana's parents measure her height every month. H of T models Kana's height in centimeters when she was T months old. What does the statement H of 160 equals 150 mean? Well, H of T models the height. H of T is the height. So whatever, and it's modeling the height based on how many months old she is. T represents how many months old she is. So this letter T here is going to be, you can plug in how old she is in months. So if you do H of 160, this here it's basically saying how old is Hannah when she is 160 months old. This comes out to 150. So what that means is that when Hannah is 160 months old, she will be 150 centimeters tall. So let's find that. Kana had the same height at 150 months old and at 160 months old. That's not what that's saying. It's saying that her height at 160 months is 150. H of 160 equals 150. Her height, when the time is 160, is 150. And that's in centimeters. The 150 is in centimeters. When Kana was 160 months old, her height was equal to 150 centimeters. I think that's what we said. When Kana was 150 months old, it should be 160. Her weight was equal to 160. No. So the input is 160, and we're putting in her age. So the age is 160, and the height is 150. So I think it's going to be B. All right, last one. This one says, for a given input value n, the function g outputs a value m to satisfy the following equation. It gives us an equation, and what it says is write a formula for g of n in terms of n. So we want to write a function where all the stuff over here has the letter n in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to solve for m. I'm going to get m by itself. That's my output. Outputs a value m. The output is m. The output is the same as g of n. This is the output of a function. The input is the n itself. The input is whatever you put in for n. Let's solve. So let's solve this. So I have 3m minus 5n equals 11. I want to solve this for m, so that'll give me on the other side the n, because I want to get n in the box here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3m equals, I'll add 5n to both sides, 5n plus 11, and now I'll divide both sides by 3. So n, or sorry, this is m. M. So m equals 5n plus 11 all over 3. So now the function is written, it's in terms of n. Here I see n. Let's fill this in. So it's going to be a fraction. It's going to be 5n plus 11 over 3. So what this does, the reason this is answering the question is because now I've rewritten this. Right, let me circle that. Oh, I've rewritten this. So it is a function in terms of n. It's a function in terms of n. Whatever number I put in for n, that's going to give me the output. And I could have called this m. The output is m. So whatever number I put in for n, I will get out m. So there's an output, which is m, or g of n, and there's an input, which is the variable n. Like you put in n, but what you do with it is you multiply it by 5, add 11, then divide by 3. So like whatever you put in, you're going to have to do that math. Not super important for this question specifically, but that's how it would go. All right. So I hope this helps, and yeah, have fun. Oh, let's make sure we got it right. All right, now have fun.